Many have tried to imitate, but there's truly only one President Trump. Here he is, comparing how he looks in a bathing suit compared to Joe Biden.
I'd like to go to the beach. You know, my legs are not quite as thin as his. My legs are slightly heavier. My arms are slightly larger. My body is a little bit larger than his. I'm not sure it would be appreciated on the beach, but I'm not going to take a chance. You won't see me in a bathing suit. Somebody told him that he looked good in a bathing suit.
Speaking of who's in better shape, a certain governor from California is questioning whether the Democratic Party needs to shape up as they face a favorable rating of just 34%.
Do you feel like our party is in better shape or worse shape? Are we finding our voice? Is this shutdown in a perverse sense helpful in terms of just organizing that voice and a clarity of what's at stake?
All right, well, I'm going to turn that question back around on you too. But I mean, the polling would not tell you that our party is in good shape today. I mean, we are historically unpopular.
Newsom also continues to mimic Trump style. He's now accusing Joe Rogan of having something he calls CDS.
What do you think he's talking about?
I don't know. I mean, I barely watched what you
the perception of it, the perception of California, the perception of some of the problems that face the state, and maybe how some of the people around the country might think that
I think there's
problems.
a California derangement syndrome, and he's part of it. I mean, I think people are obsessed with focusing on what's wrong with the state and not what's right with the state. But
the proof is in the U-Haul. If you look at the numbers, everybody wants to leave. Nobody wants to go.
So, you know that Gavin thought he was on Charlemagne the God? CDS is not CDS if the data is real, like the U-Haul's leaving. The reason why Trump derangement is real is because the data is not. You know, the collusion, authoritarianism, war on democracy, fascism, Nazis. No one's ever said that stuff about California, but it's been said about Trump and his followers. I wonder how people can... I think the grip that TDS has on people is starting to loosen up, especially after the peace stuff. And they're beginning to see how huge and overinflated this demon was. There's no war on democracy. There's no fascism. It's just a guy making peace while also making jokes about not having skinny legs. I think you have with Gavin, you almost have this weird choice between all-inclusive resorts. You know, all-inclusive resorts come with stuff that you love and stuff that you don't. Trump's resort, it may be gaudy and a little unpredictable, but it's walkable. There's lots of stuff to do. And every day you experience something fun and productive, you get what you pay for. But at Newsom Towers, or whatever you call it, the service sucks. You know, no one there works. You're trying to find somebody at the counter. There's nobody there. It's just like you never get what you paid for over in Newsom's resort. So it's a stark choice, really, between facade and substance, reality and fantasy. And I think that's why Democrats have to indulge these delusions, because the reality is too much to bear.
And Harold, the first step to getting better on anything is admitting you have a problem, but they've only gone a half a step, because in the clip they say, yeah, we are historically unpopular, but they won't take the next half a step, which is say, we did it to ourselves. Yeah, I think you're right. And I think when parties have found themselves at this moment, Democrats, this is not the first time a political party finds itself kind of self-loathing and trying to figure out where they go and what the next steps are. But you're right, you have to have answers. We need less kind of apologizing and loathing, and more offering of new things. You think about where we are today. The government is shut down. AI is enabling inefficiencies, but it's going to displace a lot of workers. We need answers to that, how we're going to create new jobs going forward. Our schools are not working. And Katie, you mentioned a point about Democrats should be welcoming people to their communities as we try to fight crime. They should, but we need a crime bill. Greg and I talked about this yesterday. President Trump's been in office. We've yet to end cashless bail. Dangle federal funds out there to these cities and make them in cashless bail in exchange for more money to hire cops and prosecutors and so forth. Democrats, these are the answers we should be providing. The moping and the going on podcasts and saying the same old thing is not resonating with voters, let alone winning voters to our side. And part of the reason for that, Katie, is that they're often on the wrong side of these issues. Like on 80-20 issues, or as President Trump says, 97-3 issues, they're on the wrong side of it. And they don't have to be. If it's an 80-20 issue, it's safe to be on the side of the 80, but they're so focused on Trump that they just can't get themselves out of it. And the old saying is, you can't beat them, join them. I mean, Trump is beating them
on everything. On crime, on deportation, on the government shutdown, which Republicans historically always lose the argument about the government shutdown. Democrats could open the government tomorrow. They could work on a crime bill, but they can't do that because they don't want to fund the government.
So could you?
Republicans already voted for a clean CR, and Democrats refused to in the Senate. So Democrats should vote for that so they can reopen the government. And also, Democrats are focused on the wrong guy. Trump is not running for re-election. He is done in 2028, and yet Democrats continue to go after him. Presidential hopefuls like Gavin Newsom can't get over the fact that he just needs to come up with his own ideas, can't just copy Trump for everything that he does. And they're just not authentic. They're not putting out anything original. And for Gavin Newsom to sit there and scoff at someone like Joe Rogan, who the left is desperately trying to find their own Joe Rogan, they had one. He not only left the Democratic Party, he also left California, along with a lot of his rich friends. And there are still people leaving California. Right. So they've got to come up with different ideas that are helpful to their constituents rather than constantly fighting someone who isn't even running for re-election.
And I want California to be great. I lived in San Diego for 3 years. I'd love to go and visit and enjoy. But Jesse is your name. Many large companies have decided to leave, and they're specifically saying it's because of some of Gavin's policies. Tesla, Chevron, Oracle, Charles Schwab. And Chevron was actually very explicit in saying it was Governor Newsom's policies that took them out.
Yeah, but he's still a threat. He'll probably get the nom, and he'll lie his way to the top. He's rich, he's tall, and he has a nice-looking family, and lies very effectively.
Sounds like someone else I know.
Me? But he's always coming across as a little less crazy than the rest of the Democrats, and that's where his threat is. Dana, have you ever been dumped?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I haven't, so tell me if I'm wrong. If you're dumped, do you sit alone in a room and wallow?
I did.
And for a year say what went wrong?
I did for 2 weeks, and then Andrea Aragon, my college roommate, said, get up, and we went country music dancing every Saturday night for the rest of the year.
Jesse, get this. We now are just such good friends to this day.
You guys.
I'll never forget it. Oh, I got dumped big time.
So they didn't wait. They waited, what? 11 months, and they're still not getting out there. There's millions of voters out there. Go out, make your pitch. Do what Harold says, except the crime bill. We're not going to give you guys more money so you can steal it. But do something different. Don't just sit alone in a room and Zoom. It's so stupid. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.